There we are.
Oh, there you are. I just
Sorry
got your
about that. I
text.
just texted you, Diana. I just realized
Yeah, no,
oh,
that's totally fine.
I got somebody right. No, and that's never a hint. It's just like sometimes I don't know what my schedule's.
Yeah,
You
no, sure. Uh,
so
so
okay.
where to begin? I
Okay,
kept
and you had some questions. Previous versions of the chart. Is that what you're looking for?
yeah, I was going through one of our old sessions to get it ready for posting, and it was one of the things I never followed up on from like May.
Oh, do you want me to send it right now, what I have?
Or whenever you can. Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Okay, let me just write another note to myself. Okay.
Oy,
Okay.
oy.
And I just saw, I haven't read, so talk to me about last night.
Oh, okay. Well, let me first tell you, I kept thinking about going to Angie's house. And so my parts that they were like, well, let's just go take that darn Ted. They wanted to just poke her in the eye somehow. And I worked on Ted. I said, that's what Ted's for. And they're like, yeah, but just imagine how she'll feel going in there, seeing it gone and freaking out and thinking someone was robbed her house and they wanted to violate her. And I'm like, well, I understand that. I was actually kind of going along thinking that wouldn't be too bad. And because it wouldn't be breaking and entering, I have the code to her garage. I wouldn't go in her house. I would just take that and leave. And then I said, well, let's think about this. Well, we just filled up our gas tank. It was almost $70. So we'd have to fill up twice going there, twice coming back. I said, so there's $300 in gas. And then we have the 6.5 hours one way. So we have 13 hours worth of drive. I said, is it really worth it? And they're like, not really. So we kind of
Good.
dropped it. But thank you for the email you sent about your brothers. I thought it's just a matter of time for that stuff to leave my thoughts because it's so fresh. It's there now. So,
And I'm sorry, which one was encouraging to you?
um, I'm not sure. Just a part. They
Okay.
were like, yeah, let's just go get her.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You thanked me for sending.
Oh, about your brothers and how, you just have to cut them off after a while.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I thought, well, that I don't have Mary in my thoughts. I thought, well, yeah, but you cut her off 3 years ago, and even before that, it was 5 years. So of course she's not a part of your thoughts anymore. I said, but Angie's been a constant, voice in your ear for the past, 3 years. So it's just a matter of time. And they're like, okay. So that was that. And then there was something else. Chris was watching um like the P. Diddy gossip because we haven't gotten any like real news yet. And there
I
was
keep hearing that we might get some information.
yeah, and there was you'll hear a lot about just basically how homosexual all these rapper men are with each other, black, white, all of them. And there's even a picture out there of of LeBron James at one of P. Diddy's parties, and LeBron James is wearing this like sex kitten outfit, like a female
I saw that, but somebody tried
maid
to say
thing.
that was Photoshop, but no, I
Oh no, I know. And Chris was like, he was happened to be watching it by himself, and I went and joined him a couple hours later, and he goes, I was watching all this stuff, and you know what I remember? He goes, remember the guy I used to hang out with when I was married to Lisa, and I'd hang out in his garage and we'd drink 40s? And I go, yeah. I mean, I've heard this story a million times. He goes, well, it's a black guy. And he goes, well, one time, he goes, I used to, from one, I guess it was one time, maybe a couple, he said, I went with him to his parties at his buddy's house. He said, and think about that, walking into a house full of black guys partying. It's a little intimidating. I said, yeah, I can imagine. He said, but I got along with him. We had a great time, whatever. And he says they were driving back home. that this guy, I forget the guy's name, that his friend, they're driving back home. And Chris said, I didn't remember this until just now. And I go, well, what is it? He goes, well, he turned and looked at me. He's driving. He turned and looked at me and says, you know, me and my buddies are gonna fuck you. And I said, well, what did you do? Chris said, I pulled my knife out of my pocket. I opened it up, you know, because it's a flip knife. It's this knife he got from the military, so it's like 30 years old. He said, I'll kill you. The guy he said, well, what happened next? And he goes, that's it. And so Chris is twigging on the fact that, oh my God, that this behavior isn't just at higher levels. I mean, because this was just his neighbor. It was his neighbor and his buddies. And they're talking about, he said, they said something along the lines of, we're gonna fuck that white boy or something like that. Me and my buddies are gonna fuck you, white boy, or something along those lines. And Chris was just like, and I said, well, what happened after that? Did you continue to go to his garage and hang out with him? He goes, no, things just kind of deteriorated. Lisa and I got divorced, and I was like, well, thank goodness. But he just twigged on it. He was like, wow, this behavior is universal. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So we could have somebody 3 doors down behaving this way, and we'd have no idea. So anyway, I just was like, my eyes got big. I'm like, you are kidding me. He's like, no. So that was interesting. But he just said, I'll kill you, just point blank. And he said, I looked him dead in the eye and I said, I'll kill you right here and now if you touch me. And the guy just shut up and changed the subject and drove him home. It's like, my God, it's twisted people. But anyway, yeah, I guess.
And it's also interesting, it kind of reinforces for Chris that you can suppress
Yeah,
experience.
and just this little memory pops up for him.
And that's as an adult.
I know. I know.
I mean, how do you forget that?
I know you don't. Let's see. I can't figure out how to get this.
It really is surreal when you think
I
about it.
know. And they're just so twisted.
Yeah.
Let's see. Application.
Sorry,
I'm
anal
trying to
dot-
figure out how to get this. Well,
There we go.
maybe I'll do it that way. I guess that's good enough. Oh, there we are. Okay, we're both there. Participants can, okay. So journals. Yeah, I had what happened was after you and I talked, I sat down and what was it, 37 parts or something? I did the first, like, I got all the way up to doing their emotion levels. So like 5 steps. I have 7 steps that I do. And the seventh one is the most time consuming, the health checklist. And so I was kind of tired and I said, look, guys, I know I usually do this all in one day and I'd usually push through. I said, but are you okay if I wait till tomorrow, taking like a mental break? And they're like, no, I guess that's okay. And so then the next day I sat down and did that. And in the middle of all of it, I kept fixing documents that were not wrong, but just outdated. What is happening here? You can see this, right?
I sure can.
I don't
That's
know
pretty
why.
sensitive.
Yeah, I've been having attacks on my computer, and when I do, I say a prayer over it and it generally clears up. But why my mouse is not working right now, I don't know. Anyway. So, okay, so I just saw oops, I guess I gotta move this down. Just saw a man with short white gray hair parted in the middle and it seemed choppy to me. And by choppy, it was just like, I don't know, his hair was kind of like straw-like. I'll say this. My mouse won't work. Come on. Oh, dear Jesus, please protect this computer. all the pieces, parts, the mechanics, the technology, the internet, and block any and all interference from anything human or spiritual. In Jesus' name, thank you.
Amen. You know
Something.
what? Let me pray as well, Diana.
Okay.
Yeah. Lord, we give this time to you. Thank you that ultimately greater is he who is within us than he who is within the world. So we ask that you oversee today's session, block any interference. Lord, thank you that you are sovereign over the principalities and powers of the air. And so use this time, use Diana's effort and her willingness in a very strategic way in the lives of those that have been so harmed to set captives free. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And give me 1 second.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly got very dark in here. Oh, that's because of what I chose. Let me try this again. Oh, okay, there we go. Is that too bright?
No, no, it's good.
Okay, good. Move that over. Alrighty. Okay, so is my mouse gonna work? No.
Wonder if you need to plug it in and I'll recharge it. But that's not going to help for right now, huh?
Yeah, no, maybe I'll just turn it off and back on.
Is it a
And this
remote?
is what happened with my desktop computer. The mouse started going first. Yeah, okay, so now it's working. All right. So he was smoking a cigar and walking past me. He had a kind of a shit-eating grin on his face. And I get the vibe that it was like, oh, see, are you stopping working now? What's happening? That it was a military guy.
Is your mouse a remote mouse or does it have batteries?
It has batteries.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, when you say military guy, just a random military guy, or do you
Yeah,
recognize
but
him?
he didn't have a uniform on, so I'm wondering if he was just a man on a military base. Military guy. Man, give me a second. I'm gonna get a battery.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Where was I? Okay. Military guy, no uniform. Okay. And then yeah, I did the checklist for the guys after it. That was the night, and then this was the next day. So health checklist notes for Vance, Sandy, and their group, which is huge. I'll show it to you. What was I?
Well, by the way, in one of the most recent, I think the second most recent journal entry, or maybe the last one,
Yeah.
you actually are showing people, so it's very effective.
Oh,
You're
you
just
mean on YouTube?
Um, yes. No, no, I guess Rumble, is that what I'm
Oh,
watching?
Rumble. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but you actually did what you just did as you normally edit, and you did it live as you were
Yeah,
recording.
because I'm anal, I want it to be
Well,
correct.
no, and what I think is so perfect about that is it shows people like, listen, you don't have to be perfect. You just kind of, as you do any kind of videos like this,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
also it shows the value of as you're reviewing this, things are coming to mind. You're capturing it real time. So you're modeling
yeah, yeah.
what people need to be mindful of and being able to
Well, good. Yeah, I'm glad because that's what I thought. I'm like, well, this, it happens on the fly, so I'm
and
not gonna try
that's
and have it
invaluable.
be perfect. So,
Yeah, no, and it's invaluable to help people. You're showing them exactly what you do. So it's perfect.
okay, good. But yeah, here's the grip. I mean, it's the purple area here. Look at all these parts. From what, 51 to 11. That's 40 parts. Granted, I had Vance and Sandy, which Sandy was I had her listed in the 6-year-old group, and I remember I told you I think she's younger than that. She goes in here in this 4-year-old group.
And that's perfect how you've done that, the staggered.
Yeah, and I've even the ones that are in the middle are the backup guardians.
There you go. That's
I
right.
thought that would work too. And here they are. Oh,
Well, you did the minus 20.
I did.
No,
I
you
did.
did.
I twigged on the
Yes, you
fact
did.
that okay, there's not another level to the wounded kids. There's just an extra depth. And I thought, well, what would that depth be? And I thought, well, it's the demonic presence. And so I'll show you that.
Wow, this is really effective. Did this seem to, after getting over the idea that maybe adding another project, that it seemed to start to give some freedom to really
Oh,
honor the trauma?
yes, yes. And as I adjusted this, some of the others part went from -5s up to like 8s and stuff. So
Okay, there we go. There we
yeah,
go.
and so these were the things that you have in your wounded kid section, right? The guardian, the backup, 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 obedient, trauma bonded, all that. And this is where these are your parts. And I thought, well, it doesn't address the demonic stuff. Oh, shoot, darn
Yeah.
it.
Oh, good point. Good point. Wow.
And I don't know, it just hit me the other day. I thought, gosh darn it, what is happening here? Okay. So what I did was I added this a week or two ago, the righteous I put it on the 3 levels because you have rebel at the not subconscious. Yeah, and then at the repressed, here I'll go back. So subconscious, you have rebel in with the qualities. I thought, okay, but I have parts here that were being rebellious. And so I was like, well, what it's the next level. So you're going from rebellion to resistant and you're looking for escape.
That's the perfect way to put it, right? They're not rebelling, they're resisting. That's
Right.
perfect,
And then I
Diana.
felt, well, okay, you get to the wounded kids level,
Yeah,
and now it's the righteous indignation, the wrath, the presence of God within you that's
good,
furious.
good.
And then so that was there a couple of weeks ago, and I added
You want to
these
write that
here.
word in? That's perfect. A descriptor, fury.
Oh,
That's perfect. Right? I love
fury.
that, Diana, because somebody knows that they're doing the venting right when they experience that fury.
Yeah, yeah. And so I thought, well, okay, you've got what are the different levels of demonic things happening? Because sometimes they're just in the room. They're not
Wow.
necessarily messing with you personally, they're just present. Okay, so demonic presence. Then sometimes they might swirl around you individually or get in your face. Okay. That's like a next step up because it's okay, you've dealt with them being in the room and now they're right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you've got, okay, when they start messing with you physically, personal, physical, demonic interaction, they might try to enter you or poke you or whatever. You can feel them on your physical body. And then the next level up was I thought, well, that's like the meditation I had was that
That's right.
personal one-on-one, get in my face. And I thought, well, okay, that was demonic invitation because I was chanting, or possession if you accept it. And so I thought, okay, well, those 4 levels. And so I went through all these guys
Excellent.
and listed out where they were, who had that and who didn't. And so let me save that.
Did
And
you
so
see? Susan just showed me a clip of an interview with Tucker Carlson. Did you see where he had an encounter with a demon? He didn't know what it was.
no, I'd love to see that. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'll ask Susan to send it to you. Laying in bed, wife next to him, dogs in the room, and he first references dogs were being mauled, um,
Oh,
a weight upon him, and then scratches that drew blood. And in the morning,
oh,
right on both
wow.
sides and on his shoulder. And when he awakened, there was actually blood on the sheets, but he doesn't
Wow.
have fingernails. And he says, and so it drove him. He said he needed to read the Bible. He didn't want a commentary. So, like you, he read the Bible through completely. Said it transformed him. So,
Wow, well, I have questions about Tucker Carlson because you can see him during speeches flashing this sign. He wears a red string, which is the Red String Club, meaning that it is it's to ward off evil spirits. It's a Kabbalah thing.
oh, so he hasn't gone far enough with
I
under.
don't know, but I think he's part of the boys. Frankly, just my own opinion. Watch my video Red String Club, and you'll see him in there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe he doesn't know what he's messing with,
Yeah.
or he's trying to give himself validity or something.
Okay.
I don't know by
Okay.
having
That's
this story. I don't know. I
yeah.
hope he's a good guy, but anyway, so health checklist, Vance standing in the group, so eyes, ears, nose, mouth, head, throat are bothering Vance. All the others have issues with their nose, and I could have listed out 15 names for these, but I was like, that's too much, guys.
Mhm.
Their nose and mouth from vomiting. Now, Vance was the one that had the actual Jesus be in him. And I need to record somewhere because he's told me, I'll put it right here. Oh, dang, I hate it when it does that. So Vance says that a demon did enter and then Jesus, but Jesus threw him out, and then Jesus said, "This child is mine." So there was a battle inside my body.
Uh, yeah, you may want to correct Vance. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's so,
And I heard him tell me that twice, and I don't know why I didn't record it. I'm sorry, little guy. We're right here right now. Um, so that was his dissociation as being, these two entities in my body, not two entities, but one with Jesus going in and saying, get out. And I don't know if that was before vomiting or after vomiting. Maybe it was before, and then when Jesus expelled the demon, it came out in vomit or something. I don't know. So, okay. So my sight was an issue from the bright light, the bathroom. Oh, my mouse just worked. Bright lighting bathroom and back from being kicked and dragged. And granted, Angie didn't kick me, but I guess poked me with her foot. But she did it enough where it hurt my back. Like she didn't kick me, but she stuck her toe in there and did shoved it.
oh
You
gosh.
know. Um uh, well, okay. And then dragged, and then the shoulders from being dragged and pushed. And then their faces are from being slapped 3 times by Angie, and then mom wiping my face. I had a problem with my neck in the car because I was leaning over while I was half comatose. And when it was all said and done, the last part called Tammy, who was watching TV. TV was her first part name. Still had a rotten taste in her mouth, even though she had already eaten dinner. So this vomit, this whatever expelled from my body was still lingering in my mouth. I said there are also a few parts that had problems with their feet, so I'm not really sure why. And then after I wrote that, the parts of what it was, because when I think perhaps when the part stumbled, she may have twisted her ankle, which caused other parts to have issues with it as well, and remembers feeling cold on the tile floor. So that was their physical problems. And then the MK Ultra and all of them is just they didn't have MK Ultra, but the MK Ultra checklist lets me find out other details. So they were all exhausted. Most parts had issues with concentration, except when I saw mom and ran to her and clung to her. Somehow my brain kicked into gear again. Or once we got home, I could concentrate. I think because I was in a dangerous environment. Again, grandma, grandpa, dad, mom, Angie, Mary. I'm surrounded by, perpetrators. And then mom, the one person I think I'm going to get help from, and she's just brushing me off like I'm whatever. So there was disorientation until getting out of the car and going into the house. Temperature extremes just because it was a hot summer day, part because of a cold tile floor. 3 parts dealt with doors, seeing the witches peek around the doors. 1 part dealing with the window, seeing grandma in the window. And Vomit saw the altar table and had distortion during his experience. So I think that he may have been drugged in
Yeah.
order to accept the demon. I've gotten that vibe from him, drugged before demonic entrance, I guess, because he didn't possess me.
Right. Or attempted, right? Attempted entrance.
Right. Well, it was grandma who was trying to put him into me.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was saying, please come, and I
That's
didn't
exactly.
embrace it. She was forcing this into me. Jesus said, no way. This child's mine. I vomit and expel all that crap. The witches scatter, and then I fall to the floor. So spiritual problems are mostly that there was music playing in the background everywhere in the lodge and the church, in the car, grandpa's house. The symbols in the lodge, trigger words and phrases, curses and doctrine. That was grandma's like ceremony. When mom was holding me, she said some sort of trigger word or a word that triggered me. So I don't know if she was, if she just happened to say, oh, stop, stop. So my mom had this way of when you needed help, she wouldn't she didn't it's not that she didn't take it well. I think because she had a challenging childhood herself, she'd be like, oh, come on, pull yourself together, let's get going, kind of thing, rather than being comforting and taking a moment saying, you're okay, you're safe, I'm here with you now, let's move on. She'd be like, come on, let's go, kind of vibe about her. Same thing again in the bathroom with mom. I'll put I think it's something along the lines of pull yourself together. What's wrong with you? Like she's preoccupied in her mind and can't be present in the situation. It says once we got in the car, Dad, Angie, Mary kept putting their finger to their lips, the silent symbol.
That's what reinforced all the more that
Mhm.
I think Ganji and Mary remember. How are you going to block that out? That's very intentional.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm 4, they're 7 and 8.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
or no, if I'm 4, 6, well, yeah, 7 and 8. So they're like a year and 8 months older than me. So, and then there were trigger words and phrases used while I was rocking in the house. So it's after, I think before my nap or after rocking in the house. I was rocking to try to comfort myself. I was sucking my thumb, and my sisters cursed me. And um, I don't know if they put a curse on me or if they're just saying, "You stupid, weak little piece of shit," kind of a comment.
Yeah.
And then trigger words and phrases on the television, and then I put, and that's it. So the television is reinforcing a lot of this stuff. And it was, almost immediate um,
So
after
they're
the
they're
incident because they put
coordinating.
me in front of the TV, you
Yeah,
know.
they're coordinating some of the things they say with things that are on the TV. So you're going to hear these different catchphrases.
Mhm. And then I spent the next I had a half a day left and updated those charts with the demonic thing and the graphs. So that night, oh no, I don't have an entry here. I baptized 10 parts. Oh shoot. Let me get them real quick. I know I sent them to myself. Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I did just read this to you, but before, oh, I missed to tell you, I did 11 baptisms. And the funny thing was after I did them, the next morning I recorded them to realize that 3 parts in particular, it was their second one. And I didn't remember it at the time I was doing it. They just got in line.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
was
they got mine. That's great. That's
they
great.
do, because what happens is like one part will say, I says, anybody want to be baptized? Anybody want to do anything? Because I have all the prisons blown up. And so right now the only thing left to do would be, do you have a new purpose or do you want to be baptized? And
Yeah.
usually one part will say, yeah, I'd like to be baptized. And I forget who was first. But then the second person that showed up was, guess
And
what?
I'm not making light of the fact that they want to get baptized twice. It's just, Diana, your intuitive sense of the parts is phenomenal. That's why I'm like, it's like you have it down to that level to where you can really
Well,
sense.
and sometimes I'll say, well,
Tremendous.
okay, who are you? You got to tell me a name. I've got 385 of you
I
now.
know, I know, I know.
Like, you got to tell me your name.
Yeah, it's
And it was
phenomenal.
like, oh, shoot. These got out of order. Oh, see, someone's screwing with my stuff again. Okay. So it was Bo, the one who dealt with,
Do you want to save the changes that you just did?
yeah, Buddhism.
Oh, okay.
Then when I was meditating and had that river kind of flow into my body, that river of energy. So it's a Buddha, river, and faith. So Bo, reed, and forest. The three that called on demonic invitation. And I thought it was interesting because this came the night after I added those things to the consciousness level of the wounded children and change the graphs and stuff. And so now all of a sudden they want to be baptized again. And I didn't really clue in on that until you and I are talking right now. And also Leslie, the one who was in Scientology, let's see. And so they'll start off with one and then they'll come in a series and they all happen to have a similar vibe about them. Like this was all about like demonic in interaction. I believe Mia Cove and Aspen all jumped in. Summer did not. Um, and so they had that demonic thing going on in Germany with my boyfriend in that place that we stayed. I'm trying to think of oh, you know what? I used to throw these away, but now I don't. I just have a piece of paper I write down. So Teresa, the tooth, and her two subparts, Zia and True, and then Ruby was the one in the military who was like a robot. Geraldine, the dog. Oh, these were all animals. This is a different day. Let me find that. So like all the animal related parts got baptized in one day.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's interesting. Even though, again, different times and years, they still,
Right, they have a
that's,
connection to each other because now that they're not separated from each other.
that's beautiful.
Okay, so here it was Summer. Oh, Summer did get baptized. See, someone is screwing with my stuff. Okay, so Summer, Holly Cove, and Lacey. Holly. So they had demonic interactions in those houses. And then Beauforest and Reed, which was New Age stuff. Lacey was the astral projection. Let me make sure. Oh, see these guts. Oh, I'm really annoyed now.
I'm going to be praying for you that this interference stops.
Okay, so yeah, Leslie from Scientology, Lance told me that because he was the place where all the anger got shoved down to, and he told me that he would have to activate and he would call on demonic um fire, so to speak, and then he would send that to the part that needed it to do the killings.
That's right.
I was
That's right.
like, okay. And then Aaron was the one given amphetamines to whip the body up. So they were kind of connected. And then Anne, who is now Dana, um, she just jumped in there, I think, because um Aaron and Anne presented together, or Anne and Andy, and they're now Aaron and
Show
Dana.
me in the line as you're talking. I'm sorry, Anna. Am I
Okay,
able to
hang
get their
on.
names?
Leah, Rain. Oh, Rain. Okay. I'm
Oh, there
glad
we
I kept these pieces of paper. So I'm gonna and see what happened was as I went through and I was correcting everything and giving them different color codings. And the colors don't mean anything, it just separates out a group, an incident,
There we go.
because
Very
I
good.
needed to keep track. Susie was a while ago.
That's okay.
Okay, so Aaron and Lance. Aaron was given the amphetamines. Lance called on demonic fire, and then they sent that to, someone like Winnie or Jason or Judy or whatever to do a killing. And I'm pretty sure it was sent to these guys to, be able to rip someone's jugular out with your teeth. I mean, so that's those two. Um, oh yeah, and then Anne was part of the MK Ultra. She was the doll that I had to choose,
Oh, yeah.
and I made them gray. She was the first piece of the MK Ultra programming, and she wanted to jump in there. I'm not sure how that's connected, but
Oh,
I
I sent you, you may have seen it in text, that recording of a gal, I don't know when it was made, of she and Bob Hope. And I was listening to a part of it,
no, I didn't see
and
it.
she references mind files. So did you, I think I sent it in text. It was like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m.
I think I did. No, what you
There you
sent
go.
me was music. You sent me music.
So it's check your phone text. So Bryce Taylor, I had heard
Oh,
her,
here it is. Okay.
but
Oh,
the
oh,
volume
okay.
I
That
could
was
barely hear it.
today.
But hers, she talks about Bob Hope, oh, and Henry Kissinger. But then partway through,
Really?
and Ted Gunderson introduces her. But then as I'm listening, so it was very low. All of a sudden, she references mind files.
Yeah, that's what I learned that phrase from Gray, because he
Yep.
talked about the
But
mind.
this was probably made 30 years ago.
Yeah, wow. Well, these are my mind file programs right here. So,
It'll be interesting if you listen to that. Give me some feedback on that. See if any
sure,
she
sure.
named names.
How long is it? Should I watch it now or?
It's probably about an hour or a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll watch it
Yeah,
later.
she's giving a talk to an audience.
Okay, yeah. So these are the ones baptized. But yeah, they'll kind of and then okay, so there was that, and then I did their. Let me see, I gotta find them again. They are, I think, purple. No. Oh yeah, here they are. They destroyed their prisons. Actually, it wasn't even last night. It was after I finished getting everything done with them. And I said, well, I want to work on some videos now. And they were like, well, can we do our prisons real quick? And I was
Oh,
like, sure. So I just sat here at my desk and visualized it with them. And
yeah,
so, God blows them to dust in the jet bomb on the lodge. And then all these guys were all in the lodge in the after effects. So smash the perps heads, Angie and Mary, boiling oil to hell, atom bomb it, and then we're gonna open up the earth and swallow it up.
I like that.
Um, and then shoot Angie, Mary, and Mom and the perps in the head with a machine gun. Then we go through with a tornado or hurricane and crack open the earth and swallow it up. Um, this one I did weeks ago in this particular, see the different names with the eyes?
Yeah, yeah.
They came before the rest. So the God step on and squish the perps to hell, and then this is the same one. Shoot them with the machine gun, tornado, hurricane, crack open the earth. Again, Sandy, I did months ago. She said drown them in tears to hell because she was always crying. Same one. She machine gun, tornado, hurricane, and then open up the earth. This was being in the car and them telling me to shh. They just used a massive explosive and blew up the car. Something like you would see in a Hollywood movie, just bam, and the car flies up 30 feet in the air.
Good.
And then these guys were once we were back at the house, I'm sucking my thumb and rocking, and we have dinner and take a nap and TV. They said we want to machine gun them in the head, all of the family and the perps, and then jet bomb the house and the land. So that's that's who they are. And I thought this is kind of a brilliant strategy that they have decided to do because like these I names came a week or two before the T names, right? So I had Vance and Sandy and Tammy, or not Tammy, should be in the middle. Well, no, she is a guardian because, oops, darn it. She is a guardian because my whole life I've always sat in front of the TV zoning out whenever I felt sick. So I think that the TV helped reinforce forgetting. And now when I feel sick, I go beat on Ted. So, but so the main guardians presented first, and then the names with the eyes presented next. And you see how they all wind up, almost all of them are backup guardians. And once they presented, then a week later, all the parts with the T's came along. See how that all filled in?
Wow.
And I thought that was fascinating that they chose this strategy with the letters of the name, all the group all wanting the same first letter. And now I see why they're doing it like that. So I can see the separations and the how they're presenting. Do you know what I mean? And
Here's a visual effect. I'm just throwing this out, right?
mhm.
Because it's phenomenal as you're describing it.
Now,
Um,
granted, Sandy was, way down here at the 6-year-old range, but now I know she was 4.
what would you think about differentiating those inner layers, right? You got left justified, you got the guardian, and then you sub in different, oh, in different colors, just the font in and of themselves.
Oh, the font. Yeah, I could maybe do that. I was thinking about that with my parts map. Like on the map itself, I forgot to open it up.
Because I'm just thinking,
All the pages are black, and I thought, well, what do I need to make the guardians a certain color, the backup guardian a
and
certain.
that's what I was just thinking visually, like for, if someone's staring at um,
How would what's the
that
difference
cell,
between blue and
it'll
purple
really
letter?
jump out all the more. So
Yeah,
you make the guardian, I'm just randomly, or red, and then maybe even pink, and then blue or something. That would be interesting per incident.
yeah, yeah. See,
So
like like I should, because he's a main guardian, so I should
Oh, okay.
make
Okay.
him be
And
like
that would
red.
correspond then with the XL. Oh, isn't that?
Yeah, I'd have to change the color of the font and all that, but then I go, okay, well, this is a sub part, and maybe make
That's
them
phenomenal. Then maybe on the Excel spreadsheet on the check,
beige. Yeah.
color the font.
Oh, the
Uh,
same color as the PowerPoint.
yeah, so whoever you just changed to red, so have
Yeah.
the Guardian, the font red. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. I didn't even think to, because
Visually,
what I,
then it just as somebody scanning through this, then they really
or
get a.
as I'm jumping from one document to the other, they know red is Guardian
There you
everywhere.
go. There you go. That's phenomenal.
And then like maybe the sub guardians could be this bright orange. But again,
Yeah, it's a little. So I was just thinking
it'll
maybe,
be
yes, that's hard with the because you don't want to change. I love the background differentiation of
right, because
maybe like pink.
this
Try
is an
pink.
incident, which I almost included Sarah in there, but I'm like, no, this was in the basement doing a ritual. This
Okay,
was
how
all
about this?
upstairs doing something else.
Well, you'll have to then toy with the colors because I really love the differentiation of color, the entire swath of it. How
If I
about
could
pink?
make them a paler color, then I could
Okay,
change the
okay.
font easier.
Or how about try?
But
Can you get a pink in there for that, or a blue or a green?
yeah, I mean, I used all these pale colors. The problem is to get
No,
any
I'm sorry.
paler than that.
I'm just thinking about the color of the font,
Oh, yeah.
the
Well,
name
let's,
itself. Try a pink in there.
yeah, see, there is no pink, so I'd have to go in here
More
and
colors.
screw around with,
Yeah.
yeah, see, it kind of
Oh, that kid
disappeared.
disappears. Never mind. Never mind. Okay.
Maybe
You.
I'll change well, maybe the font style. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
There
But
we go.
yeah.
But that really stands out. That's really.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, so that all my documents got changed to this. What I did was I just changed my very first one where I first record them in document one and then copied and pasted that on every single document so they'd all be the same.
There you go.
And then I had to go through and do the highlighting and all that. So anyway,
Which this is really powerful right here. So let's say somebody, it shows a fellow survivor. Let's say they get in touch with Vance. If they don't keep spending the time, look at what they're going to miss. Look
and
at how.
well, I think what the spending the time, because at this point in time, yeah, I did the health checklist and all that, but I didn't get like the fine details.
There you go.
Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. But what these guys needed was TED time.
That's
And
perfect.
once their TED time happened and they weren't so mad, then the sub guardians presented all these ones with the I names. And then they had some TED time, and then all the rest presented. So
There you go.
yes, Sandy is a guardian, and Vance is a guardian. Tammy presented with all the other T's, but she is also a guardian for, I guess, for uh, worldly triggers. The world, watching TV, listening to music, all your interactions out in the world, those triggers keep that guardian constantly, constantly engaged. I'm watching
Yeah.
TV constantly engaged. So no, I'm not going to remember any of this because this guardian is here absorbing me in whatever crap TV or music is doing, and it's at the age of 4 or no, 3.8 or something. I don't even
And
exist.
then think about also this is sort of interesting. Now that you bring up Tammy,
Yeah, I'm
I mean, it's brilliant,
4.4.
brilliant evil. When I say brilliant, it's all evil, but
I know.
secretly evil, brilliant strategy. So you're taking a kid and see that's then Tammy.
And sit them in front of the TV. The TV's the babysitter. And so the TV, the wonderful world of Disney,
Okay, right.
all
Okay,
these trigger words in every commercial and every TV show.
so Tammy is going to be then, this may sound funny, but you're going to try, right? It's not just a one time, her job over the years, because she's absorbing all these trigger words. You go through a mall, or you're listening to Christmas music, or you're, so,
Whatever the outside influence of the
or
world
maybe
is.
for her,
Yeah.
it's more the TV, but that
Yeah.
she had to be active a lot throughout the years.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And think about when you don't feel good, what do? You sit in front of the TV. You don't necessarily put on music because music has energy. With TV, you can sit there and be a blob, a
Zombie,
couch potato.
zone out.
Yeah. So it's really turning off the TV, frees your mind up to
Wow.
not have all those triggers, you know. Anyway, so here's all the peeps.
Well, wouldn't that be something to find out how many different repetitive trigger words that they intentionally embedded in commercials? And
Oh my God, I think they're everywhere. Or I should say, oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
I bet it's the ones like if you say to an audience, if you start the phrase that the audience can repeat it,
Yeah.
where it's almost ubiquitous, these different
And for
phrases.
some reason, my part is telling me that it was Howdy Doody that they put me in front of the TV of. So I need to make note of that.
Okay, then we need to find out what's in that program.
Um, was it Howdy? Yeah, I think Howdy Doody. Um, so where is television? We'll put in here. Howdy Doody. But yeah, I should go on the internet and see if I can find some old Howdy Doody programs and watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and then, so yeah, all that happened. And then, and the agreement that I made with them, before, I said I only did half, and I asked if they wouldn't mind if I did the next half the next day. I said, guys, I really need to get some videos done. I said, I haven't worked on an Alan Watt video in forever. And the one I'm working on is Freemasonry. And that might wind up being 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I've barely scratched the surface. I said, I got to have time for that. I said, so if you guys could figure out how to organize this. And so they did. They freed up a day and a half for me to work on videos.
Yeah.
And no
Ah,
one pushed back.
okay.
And
Okay.
um
Well,
and
look at how well you guys are working together.
and I was able to walk Dixie twice. I said, I've got to get some exercise in. Maybe not the bike, but it's cool now. Dixie and I both need. So they agreed to let me walk Dixie 3 times a week. So I get some exercise, video time. And then I said, because when you present 40 parts at once,
Yeah.
it's a lot. And I said, yeah, I push through it and I get it done. And the thing with that is, I said, and I'm grateful for this. I said, but I've made space. Now more is going to come. And I said, if you guys could find a way to give me a day or two break each week so I could get video work done and then present, that would be great. And they're like, okay.
That's phenomenal.
And I
That,
said, of course, if there's an emergency or something happens, come up. It is what it is. But so this is last night, and I'm realizing yesterday as I'm walking Dixie, it's Halloween. I'm walking through the neighborhood seeing the Halloween decorations. So each time I saw a house, I said a prayer for God. I said, please bind all those spirits to their own property. I said, put an iron dome over it that they're not allowed to leave that property. I said, even if people come and go from that property, that they are not allowed to come out of that property. So each house I went by did that prayer.
all
And then
this.
I said, if you could, God, put a love dome over our house in a 5 mile diameter and fill it with love and your grace and your I was listing off all these things. I said, so all those people that have the iron domes, they were going to be under your dome of love. And that as soon as excuse me, Halloween's over, send them to hell. I said, or send them now, whatever. I said, but if those people have it out there, I said, they could torment their own people in their own house. Just don't allow them to leave the property. And the fascinating thing is because I've walked Dixie in our neighborhood for 5 years now. We used to have 30, 40 houses decorated in just this little mile or two walk that I did. There's only 8 now.
Is that right?
Yeah, and remember I told you there was that demonic sigil carved into the sidewalk, and then I took the spray paint and
Yeah,
put
I remember.
over it with the heart.
Yeah.
It's still there. Because I had did it at the end of the season last time. I think it was my last, 2 or 3 walks with Dixie. It was there, and then it got hot, and I haven't walked her since. And I thought, well, surely the power sprayer guy is going to come by and wipe it out, and we'll go see if he wipes out part of the sigil again, because that's what happened the first time. Well, it's still there. It's just mildly faded. It's not this bright black anymore, but it's still there. And I thought, wow, well, maybe just having that Jesus mark has, the demonic influence is lessening and lessening, because there's only about 8 houses now. And I was like, wow, that's cool. Because I remember when I walked her last year, I was saying, I didn't say a prayer, but I would just look at them and go, if there was 5 displays in front of their house, I'd say Jesus 5 times, one for each one. But this time I thought, well, let's just say an actual prayer. So that was most of my walk was doing these prayers. And so I don't know if claiming our neighborhood for Jesus on that cement made a difference or what, but I was like, that's cool. We have less Halloween decorations. So this is last night, and I put this in here this morning. I said it's the night of Halloween. I've been tired since 7:30. My neck hurts a lot. It was these 2 muscles here. So now it's 10 o'clock. After I said my prayers, I started crying, Jon. I was like, well, who's this? What's happening?
Wow.
You know, and so I did not know what part it was, but I let them know that I was here, I would take care of them, and no one would ever hurt them again. I asked that part to look and talk to all the other parts that had terrible, horrible things done. And then I also, even the ones that are co-conscious with me now or subconscious, and then I asked them to talk to the parts that Jesus helped. And then all the parts shouted out, no, you will never be hurt again, to this one that was crying. I
Wow.
think, or wait, I've been thinking about those 2 missing years at 9 and 10 years old. A
Yeah.
part told me that it was degradation. The part also told me that it was the most debauched, most horrible, horrendous things ever. And the
Oh
part
gosh.
cried and cried, still crying. So I went and, because I didn't want to disturb Chris, I went and put a towel in my face and I was crying. He says that his heart hurts so much. He cried and cried for Jesus. He shouted and yelled. I also saw images in my mind and heard the phrase, it's a baby killing machine. I could see baby after baby after baby being murdered, literally like an assembly line with no end in sight. Where do all these babies come from? Just a factory of death. Children, adults, all ages, colors, sizes, one after another murdered. And then they said, we are in a dome. I was like, okay. I said, it's so evil, so ugly. There is no God here. There is evil only, radical, intelligent evil. Because after I wrote this, I heard Nathan Reynolds' voice in my head say, radical, intelligent evil. And this,
And interesting. I use it's brilliant. It's
it is,
strategy.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And the part
Oh,
said, yes, that's a perfect
I
description.
really like that. That's a great phrase as well.
Yeah.
Just
She says,
extremely brilliant, vile, evil. It's
yeah,
strategy. That's all this is.
yeah, actually, the part wants it to be read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. red, and wait, it's saying make it really stand out. So make
There
it
you go.
bold, italic, and underline. Okay. It says you can't even look away. It fills every corner, every hallway, every room, every ceiling, every wall, every floor. It's everywhere. I'm swimming in death and evil. And I was like, well, do you have parts names? What's happening here? And they said tank and dumb. And I went, okay. And I said, you mean an underground place? And they went, yeah. I said, it said everyone is robotic doing their part to feed the machine. This is where the soul goes to die. This is the dark place. Actually, what I dictated was this is a dark place, but it dictated as the dark place. And I went to correct it, and the part said, no, leave it. And I went, okay. It says God does not reach in here. It said, I am telling the part that God was there. I'll just do this. That's me. And now that part is becoming physically hot. He is screaming. He does not see God anywhere. Where is he? I am now developing a headache and also an upset stomach just turned on right now in that moment. I was like, awesome. Well, I didn't say it like that, but I was like, okay, that's part of what that part's feeling is nausea and a headache and all that. So then I went and laid down in bed. Quite a bit of time passed. It says, I am submerged underwater with a tube in my mouth and a mask for my face. The tube lets me breathe. There's no sound, there's no sight, and the water is the same temperature as my body. I'm screaming and screaming and screaming in the tube. It said, this is supposed to break me, to break my soul. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death because I believe that this part was already in communication with the others. And it says, my ears are covered, and said, these parts want to talk to Jon. So here we are.
Fair
And,
enough.
and
Is
I
that
said, at
thinking
10,
is that
huh?
like the ultimate deprivation tank?
Yes, yes. So at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, we will, is what I said. And it said, how can any one person have gone through all of this? Am I insane? Because already in that moment, in maybe 5 or 10 minutes time, because all the other parts are saying, no, we'll help you. We're here. And so this new part is seeing this whole Lake City group of people, and they're already communicating
That's wonderful.
psychically, telepathically, whatever you want to call it. We're all in the same brain. So it's already getting words. It's getting Nathan Renicles, radical intelligent evil. It knows the word dumb, deep underground military base. It's already got this vocabulary. And I was like, this is mind blowing.
Yeah.
And so it's absorbing what all the other people are telling it. And it says, how can any one person, meaning me, the human here, or well, you know what I'm saying? How can any one person have gone through all of this? Am I insane? This part is saying. Said, I'm in a complete bodysuit from head to toe, and it zips in the back, in the water with a tube in my mouth, and they close the lid.
Oh
My,
God.
my wrists and ankles are secured to the side of the tank. Not, it's like some sort of wire or cord or chain. I have like, maybe an inch or two space, like because they want to give you the feel of floating. And if you're strapped to the actual sides, you don't get that. So it's rigged to give you the feeling of weightlessness. I can only move my torso side to side or up and down in the water because my ankles and my wrists are, I'm floating. My ankles and wrists, I can't bang or anything, but I have my torso, so I'm moving that. And it said there are demons here. They taunt me face to face. And now I think that this is happening because the day before I isolated. Where is it? This aspect, is it a presence? Is it involvement? Is
There you
it
go.
direct physical interaction? Is it one-on-one, possession or invitation? So it's like it woke this part up.
Yeah.
They taught me face to face. They come into my air in my body, come in and out and move all around. I'm screaming and screaming and screaming. My body is not my own. And he went quiet. And I said, well, thank you for telling me all of that. And I said, you are not insane. I said, you are the strongest, bravest person I've ever met. Starts crying again. Not it, he. I was screaming because I was terrified, but I was also screaming to try to push it out. And I twigged on the fact this morning, is that what I'm doing at TED? Not pushing a demon out, but it's that I could tap into this,
Good. There you go. Right.
you know?
Guttural rage.
Yeah,
That's
this
what it is.
screaming. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's interesting. Yep.
And then so suddenly this is me. I said, an image in my mind of what the mask with the tube look like. Present tense there. I almost corrected it, and they're like, no, this is, and so I thought, oh my gosh, well, let me look up and see what the deprivation tank equipment is, right? So that tripped me out. Where am I here?
Because it looked a little too familiar, huh?
Yeah. Gosh darn it. Why does this always do this? So, and at first I put in deprivation tank suit. And then after that, I put in 1975. We'll see if I get the same results here. Oh no, different results. Maybe I put
What
mass.
guy is that guy design?
Oh, geez, I don't know. They call it a Stitcher anesthesia, a spell to deaden the senses while the mad doctor begins their grisly work. Yikes, I don't know.
No, I'm sorry, but the guy on the right of that, is that the scientist that designed that guy?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I think this is the tank, an early generation floating tank. John Lilly. Yeah,
That, there he is.
John Lilly. He was the one that Gray talked about with the mind files. So I wonder if this is more mind file programming because it's right after Nixon.
Oh yeah, because this is scientific.
Yeah, yeah. So let me put
Does
in
his
this.
face look familiar?
I get a little bit of a creep out from him, but not a direct. I don't know. Actually, let me take a snip of this because actually I will leave that there.
So it looked like that. It wasn't like a tube.
Oh, well, wait. Wait. Oh, John C. Lilly, pioneer of the floating, look at that, isolation tank. Okay, images. Oh, see, they're not showing me what I have on my phone. Oh, wait, 19. They're showing you current ones. Yeah. Isn't this just,
What kind of
and this
crap?
isn't for underwater either. I wish I could show you what I have on my phone.
Look at what deviant stuff is out there, Diana.
I know. I
Looks
know.
like,
And you think this isn't satanic or demonic and only scientific? No, it's all the above.
what is this stuff?
Oh,
People
see, I
actually
looked
put,
on through fire. It's not here. Are you kidding me? Gosh darn it. Anyway, it shows
I mean, I've seen a long cylindrical tube. Is that
you
kind of what,
did?
I mean, I've seen some in the past. Is that sort of what it was like?
Yes, yes, except it's not this sophisticated.
No, I'm sorry, but what they had you suspended in?
Yes, it's kind of like this, but not. Oh, darn it. I wonder if let me do it again on my phone and I'll show it to you. Deprivation tank mask, 1970s. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'll try to make it as big as possible. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. See how crude it is? Let me get
Yeah,
that glare off of there.
yeah.
And there's other ones. Oh, see, it's not showing me what it showed me last night. Oh, here. Oh, maybe this is the same one. But it's let me get that glare off there.
I think I can see it. If you want to take a screenshot of it and just send it to me in text.
Oh, right. Duh.
No, listen, this is, how you can even concentrate as you're starting to see this stuff is phenomenal.
All right, so done.
So Lily, there he goes.
Yeah.
His name has come up more than once with survivors.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I was just listening to a program on, which Nazis got out, and sure enough, Mengele, he gets out. If not, he avoids capture,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a couple other ones, right, that got out of Germany. So,
Okay, so I'm gonna send these to you right now, but I believe that this is the actual tank I was in. It was not like a capsule like I thought. Well,
oh, okay.
I think maybe there's a couple different kinds, but this one, okay, so send that and that. Jon Uhler mask send medium. Okay, you should have it in your email.
Oh, email. Sorry about that.
It's okay. So that you might want to save it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
put it in your computer. Mask.
Okay, so let me see. I'm bringing it up now. Okay, so all the more legitimate because I was thinking like a cylinder, but here you're,
Right, but this well later on here I'll show I'll read the rest of this.
yeah.
An image of my mind of what the mask with the tube looked like. I just looked up the 1975. That's when my entire and then my body started shaking. My whole body. I can feel adrenaline running through my whole body right now. It didn't last incredibly long, maybe 10 minutes. And I said, well, thank you for showing me that. I just turned the bedroom light on and showed the part that we are here right now and to look around. We are safe. Because I knew it was triggered. It was seeing this on the, my phone. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I have this body memory. And I thought, oh, well, I need to have it look through my eyes and see where we are. So I turned the light on and I said, this is just the room. Here we are. We're safe. That's it saw this big palm tree plant I have in my room. And it says that's a plant. I know you can't see it very clearly, but it's a plant. It's okay. And then it was like, okay, calm down. And the body memory left. And I wasn't even conscious of it till right now, but the body memory went away. I said the part is really freaked out. And then all of a sudden, I closed my eyes to go back to sleep again. I just saw a nun looking down at the tank, a nun. And that's when, oh, duh, it's at School Sisters of Notre Dame. So later,
So
a little time.
that's where this deprivation tank was?
Yeah, I don't know that it was a deep underground military base, but it was certainly a deep underground base. It was underground School Sisters. Remember the tunnels and
Yeah,
there's
so
the
that would have
swimming
meant,
pool.
then the question is, okay, if Lily's a part of this, you know, I don't know how many tanks, how many locations would there, it couldn't have been a bazillion of them. So that means that location
And that means it
was,
might still be there, along with the human killing assembly line thing. You know what I believe it's all underneath there.
Chris and I, we all need to go do it.
Well, and there's more here. So as I'm drifting off, said I asked these parts to please talk to all the other parts that are in Lake City, and I fell asleep. I added that this morning.
But Diana, it raises then the specter, as it were, pardon that term. But anyways, it raises the um, that where you were located then was really in the overall scope of things.
I had
Two things.
everything imaginable done to me.
Okay, so that's going to be, I mean, this becomes then a very key spot because
And
of all
it's,
those
right
places in the
next to
West,
Chicago, right there by the mafia
right? Then, you were
headquarters.
just in one of many, okay, there may have been many, but on their map of
Well, it
places,
would be the northern Midwest, and I'm wondering if they don't have like maybe 10 or 12 key cities in the across the United States or every
really is
country
a part of,
that
and
have
then,
like these centers.
right, and then you were, you're connected to, you're being impacted by the mob, you're being flown to see the Queen and the President. So this school then,
Had connections in every conceivable way. Every conceivable way. Political, royalty, um, the entertainment industry. Um, I don't know about sports, but yeah, it's a pivot point or something.
so these perps then would know about this school, that this is a pretty famous location because they had the run of the joint. And no wonder then the pillars going up and down. They had created their perfect
Well, and
Nazi
I'm
MKU
thinking, okay,
training.
if the School Sisters of Notre Dame has these underground tunnels, and you know that the government has underground cities, and you know that the military has underground tunnels connecting things. Nathan Reynolds talks about that in Colorado and Arizona, I think, as well. So I wonder if all these tunnels aren't connected together and only certain people can access one piece of it to the next.
And they would have
Depending on
then
your security
elevators.
level, how far and where do you get to go
It's
in
very
this?
interesting then, hence the term security level.
Right, right. And I wonder if they aren't at deeper and deeper and deeper
That
level.
I think very interesting. Where do we, there's another term.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
security
Because
level do you
I
have?
got the vibe last night. I'm just remembering this right now as you're mentioning this, that it's below the level where the school had its tunnels. There's the next level under that. So I believe that's where this stuff happened. Um,
Yeah, I had a guy that was a friend that I do believe him, a security CIA contractor, and that's very interesting. You wonder what but he talked about, the tunnels, submarine tunnels that can go all the way to like Kansas or something, where they bring these submarines.
really,
So you wonder then if that's the
that
case,
means it has to have water all through there too.
right? No, it goes from
That'd be massive.
okay, it goes from
The oceans
Seattle.
to the center of the country. Yeah.
Right, so it goes from Puget Sound. They run the submarines into these
Is that the
bases,
East Coast?
the West Coast. So I'm
Oh,
thinking with the Great Lakes, you wonder if same thing, that there was
oh, right. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some locks or something where they could,
Which means that their level of technological advancement is way beyond what they tell us.
yeah.
Way beyond. So it's this morning, right? I was thinking about last night's entry and realized it was underneath School Sisters. And if that's the case, that would mean that it's under Concordia University right now. My part is telling me that it would be under the pharmaceutical part of the building. So it
Pharmaceutical.
has already accessed the maps that I looked at months ago and knows there. I was like, okay. I just had a thought pop into my mind that this is what is put in pharmaceuticals Human bodies are human blood. And that could be why people are always sick when they take pharmaceuticals. So these parts have already accessed other parts of my knowledge
Right.
overnight. I was just remembering the dream where Jesus baptized me, and there was all those people's hundreds on top of the church. And I know now that those are all my parts. All my parts. I didn't want to admit it months ago that I could have hundreds and hundreds of parts, but now I know. I said they were all ages. Perhaps the smaller you are. And I was thinking about, well, why would Vance have 40
Yeah.
parts? And then other older parts like Eden only has 3.
There you go.
And I thought, well, okay, maybe the younger you are, the more you split at the
100%.
individual seconds.
Yeah.
And then the older you get, the less your brain, maybe they know how to split you,
Yeah.
but because you've already split into these hundreds of little tiny little parts, they only need to break off big chunks now as you're an adult or something like that.
And they don't have you with a kid, you
Yeah.
have access to this kid in a much more intensive and prolonged way
Yeah,
than you.
because Eden was like what, 22? And she's only got 3 subparts. Now maybe more will present later, I don't know. But I felt, well, because I kept trying, the calculating, the mathematical part of my brain was going, well, okay, if before these subparts presented, I had 181 parts, and let's say 3/4 of them were trauma, so 100 or 150, extrapolate that out, each one has 10 to 20, that would mean I'd have 1,000 parts. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I didn't see 1,000 parts on the top of that church. I saw maybe, I don't know, 400, 500. So that's when I started thinking, well, maybe when you're little, you get all those
So,
tons of parts, and then when you're older, it's just because they're accessing a part from the past that comes forward and splits into one new aspect of it.
there you go.
And because the having the bright light in your face, you've already dealt with it 4 years old. Now it's just being triggered again.
There you go. There you go.
I
They
don't
already have
know.
access to the previous parts are going to get activated. Now they're
Right. And well, like Dylan and August had bright lights put in their eyes and they have parts for that. So I'm like, okay, the one at 4 years
that's
old
right.
is now splitting, and you got another one at 21 and another one at 22. So you have this series of parts that are just about bright lights in your eyes.
Right.
So it's mind blowing, all the details and the depths and the level of it all. And I put, okay, all my parts, they were all ages. Perhaps the smaller you are, the more split you have, the older you get, the less splits for any one incident. So I don't know, we'll see how this plays out. Oh, it's just annoys me.
So with the concept of the Manchurian candidate, I think what they discovered quickly is it's hard to take an adult,
Mm-hmm.
but take a child.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I need to save this. And close that and save this and close that. So, okay. Um, but I find it fascinating the more I dive into the actual paperwork aspect. And like I said, I just realized, okay, that's how you get to negative. And here's how I
Now,
sorted it.
Diana, have the killing machine, what that part saw, has that come up? Has that surfaced yet?
Well, I don't know if this is an analytical overlay or not, but I'm getting remember the girl I told you I listened to, she was doing an interview with Emma, and she was talking about how her family was in the juice industry and how they
Oh,
had the people, I think underground, and there was like a railroad, and somehow the people were underneath, and this machine went through and juiced the people. I get the vibe it's something similar to that. And I'm saying, well, is that because I listened to that girl over there? And the part's like, no, it was different, but similar. So it was like industrial scale human, like you would process a cow or something. I just I can't, I don't know. I don't know. Um, but this was how I was like, okay, so if we can get up to here and this is a 10, and maybe righteous indignation, I think begins here. I don't know, it could go anywhere in there, but so you get 11 or 12 just with their presence because it's scaring the shit out of you. And now all of a sudden it's swirling around your body and involving you. Okay, 13, 14. Now it's getting in your face and calling your name or addressing you personally. Personal, physical, demonic interactions. So 15, 16. And then, or wait, yeah, 10 to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, or maybe, I don't know. I get now I see these numbers are wrong. And then one-on-one face-to-face. So, I guess this would be 17 to 20. Because that's pretty darn terrifying. Um, and so once I kind of fleshed that, and I'm wondering if there isn't like an extra level in here that would be 17, 18, and then like right here. Oops. This would be like 17, 18.
What do two things have just come to mind, maybe in
And
there.
maybe this is demonic invitation. Gosh darn it. And this is actual possession here.
Now, here two things have come to mind about this, the kind of experience. One would be, what does a kid go through if he or she, try it again, he or she sees the demon go inside the perpetrator now being raped by the child. So would that fit?
Oh,
I
well,
mean,
maybe
that's
that would go here then.
because
If
that,
you're sensing the presence of it and
right? And
well
then,
involve I guess I was thinking about it in terms of my personal interaction,
okay,
but I
okay,
guess
okay.
observing someone else, yeah, that would maybe go here because that would terrify you into thinking, oh, that could
Right.
happen to
That's
me.
where they get this, the concept of Rosemary's Baby. Now, it's not true, but if you think that, so a kid's being raped and now they're saying basically you're impregnated with uh, Satan's child. I mean, I that's almost as bad as it gets. That kind of thing.
Witnessing.
I don't know, but does that resonate? That kind of thing, and then
It does. So I think so this would be witnessing it.
because then that's
This
where
would
you would
be
see the eyes
experiencing
change.
it.
I mean, talk about face to face. It's seeing their eyes change, you're probably smelling it, you know,
Yeah, so I think maybe witnessing it and then experiencing it.
okay.
Yeah, except this would be
I mean, does that kind of capture what, or is there more? There may be.
17 to 18. Oh God, I'm sure that you could drill this down into a million different levels. Um,
Oh, okay. When you were seeing, like when your grandmother was having you do that, you saw the guy lift up in the field.
oh, I forgot all about that,
So
John.
that would be seeing the power, the demonic power. That would leave an impression upon a kid. That
Oh,
then it's
witnessing,
like, oh my
yeah.
gosh, if I don't stay in line, then that thing can happen to me too. So oppression, or I don't know, but that's even more than oppression.
Oh, maybe that's just experiencing um because obviously there's a presence there.
The,
Maybe
the,
just
the reality of demonic power, or I don't know.
okay, witness. Oops. Witness demonic power. And then So that was from a distance.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was witchcraft, but I now know as an adult, no, that's a demon doing that stuff,
correct.
making me believe my grandma's
There you
doing.
go. And that's what curses are all about, right? Somebody's running their mouth, but it's the demon that's doing it.
So -11, demonic presence, 12, and then
So I'm even thinking that back, the same thing though. Okay, so a kid's being raped by somebody who's demon possessed. They're hearing the demon's voice come through that. That's over on the right. But how much
I know.
that's as bad as it gets, other than as you said, when that demon was right in front of your face.
Yeah. Well, and because this was as an adult, and I was not knowingly calling it, but I called it. And it tried to, and it said, I'm the face of God. And
Wow.
because I was terrified, I knew it couldn't be. And for 20 years until Alan helped me come to, realize, no, it's demonic invitation. I didn't realize it was demon. And
Yeah.
now that I know that, it makes sense to me. Well, of course you're going to be that terrified. And with an adult mind, amnesiac to all the rest. But what happened was when I called that, all my little pieces and parts that had that you knew what that looked like, smelled like, tastes like, the whole thing pulled out and said, uh-uh. So again, my part saved me. Because if I had not had those experiences as a child, I might have been beguiled and believed that, oh, this is God. Yeah, come into me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And wound up channeling and making $1 million a year or something. I don't know. But I didn't know if you wanted to put this in your chart.
Yeah, we're gonna update it together.
Okay.
Right? Because in a way, then you guys are
Yeah, because like I said, the only other aspect that I did was I took Rebel and evolved it through the deeper levels,
there we go. There you
from
go.
Rebel to Resistant to now Righteous Indignation. And I thought, well, okay, if you have the presence of God, then it wasn't until I got this piece of the pie that I realized, well, there's the rest of it, the presence of evil that you're going to tuck away. Because generally, this, I won't say generally, but this I think gets triggered from this.
Yeah, or okay, now that's an interesting
Or
because
it comes anticipating the demonic, or is a response from the demonic.
well, the flip side of her is anger, and so the phrase "I'm mad as hell." Um, so I think it's a unfortunate, it's a doctrine of demons for us to say, like churches, pastors will equate intense anger with demonic when God has that intense anger. Isaiah
Oh, right.
63.
Okay.
So
See,
they
I don't know church stuff very
Yeah,
well.
so they take a kid, create utter rage, and then make the kid feel that is demonic instead of saying, I'm
Yeah,
mad as hell. God
I'm
is
not
mad
going
as
to
hell.
take it
God
anymore.
created hell.
Yeah.
Uh, so that rage then is equated viscerally. What they do is they try to tap into that or take that kid, tap into it, and have the kid equate it with demonic when in fact, that's how angry
Oh,
God is.
yes.
God unleashes hell on earth.
Yes. And I wonder if that's what Lance is, because all of a sudden Lance is popping into my head going, yeah, you have to stuff the anger somewhere.
That's right. And so they equate it with demonic anger. It is
But
God's
it's really God's wrath
absolute. As a matter of fact,
at the
Satan
scenario.
hasn't even experienced as much anger as what he's going to experience. So, however evil in terms of that demonic evil anger, that maniacal thing, Satan hasn't even been fully on the receiving end of God's wrath.
Right.
Satan has no clue.
So that's what all the anger is.
Pure righteous
It
indignation.
comes from God.
100%.
I
100%.
never put that together. I just thought it was angry about being oppressed or hurt or whatever.
Oh, it's
No, it's the godlike aspect in you
that's what an imprecatory
fighting
prayer
back,
is. That's
fighting
what an
back.
imprecatory prayer, right? An imprecatory prayer is me believing that God senses and he honors that because it
But
taps
see,
in.
yeah, but the church would have you believe the opposite. The
It's a
anger's
doctrine of
bad
demon that got
and you
into.
need to forgive.
That's
And
right. That shows you that is a doctrine of demons that got into the church.
and there's something else too in that prayer that I read every night and every morning. And I think the one at night it says, I forgive everyone that has
See,
harmed
I
me.
when I heard that, it's
And I last night I crossed it out.
good for you
And I thought I'm not going to read that line anymore.
because it's not
Because
true.
forgiveness has to come from them repenting,
Correct.
making it right with you. Then you can choose to forgive. Well, by then you're obligated to forgive them because that's what God wants you to do. They've repented, they found their conscience, and they're, honoring God.
Good.
But yeah, I'm gonna take that out of the prayer now. And I
And
think I'm
tell
gonna
your
do it.
audience.
And I'm going to tell my audience the next time I read it, I'm going to show them. I said, look, this is what I've learned about forgiveness and what God thinks about it. And so you're going to watch me delete this line from this prayer because I don't forgive them. God doesn't forgive
Well,
them.
there's nothing to forgive.
And
If there's never been confession, their sin remains upon them,
exactly.
and therefore there's nothing to forgive. To say that someone is unforgiving when nobody's confessed, that is a distortion of the
Oh.
language.
Well, and I
And
keep coming back to my neighbor across the street who just used me and whatever. And I
yeah,
just said, you know what? I don't interact with me anymore. Chris thinks I hate her. I don't hate her. I said, but until she's willing to admit that she did wrong to me,
sure,
I have no reason to interact with her. I don't
correct,
hate her. I'm not sitting here wishing her ill. I
correct.
said she can live her little selfish whatever life, and I
There you
just
go.
don't want to be part of it.
So it's a misnomer to introduce the top. Well, you're unforgiving. That doesn't have anything to do with that. Doesn't get it in the
Yeah,
equation.
last night I crossed it out, and it's funny because
Good.
it was right after that I started crying and these parts presented. So it's like every little step you take in realization, because I stopped myself and I read that. And I must have said that prayer like 60 times out loud now. And I keep thinking, Diana, why are you saying that out loud? You don't believe that. You don't forgive them. You're saying it just because this other person wrote it, and it's a great prayer, except for these couple of
That
lines.
false, but that falsehood
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
going to keep people stuck.
Well, and it's asking God to forgive them too.
Correct.
And I'm like, well, no, they're in hell. God can't, unless they repent
That's right.
from hell,
And they're
God's
not
not
sorry
going
for
to. No,
it.
they're
That's the
not.
whole thing, right? Somebody who hasn't repented, they haven't repented because they're not sorry.
Exactly. And
That,
when
that's
someone says to you, I'm sorry you feel that way,
right.
it means they don't feel that way.
Correct.
So, fine. You
As a
go
matter of
live
fact,
in your selfish world, and I'm going to live in my unselfish world.
that kind of thing is adding insult to injury.
I know. So I last night I finally, because I kept, there's a part in the back of my mind going, stop saying that, stop saying that, stop saying that. And so now I'm going to, but yeah, I'm going to do that in my next video, read that and say, look, I've decided that this is going. I love the whole rest of it, but this is going.
Good,
And it's
good.
written by Mary Lou Lake, who is the wife of a pastor. So, they maybe they have that in their church. Well, you need to forgive and whatever. Well, that's wonderful if the offender has
And
come and
the
apologized
offender
and made it
hasn't.
right.
None of these
I
perps are going to come forward.
I know. I know. So yeah, I decided that last night.
Good for
To
you.
learn as you go, right?
And that in and of itself, as you address that, Diana, that's going to get you in a good, godly, healthy way. That's going to get you on.
Well, I think the prayer will be more powerful. And I
Correct.
think it was fascinating about that prayer because it was the prayer talks in there about astral projection and repenting for, that and blocking that activity and blah, blah, blah. And it was after I started saying that prayer that my astral projection part presented. So that prayer has an effect.
Yeah.
It has an effect. So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I could show you. Share. So we got what, about 15 minutes?
But still, as you just thinking back to what we've covered thus far, so ages 9 to 10 is still waiting, kind of waiting to be filled in.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that makes sense because once the plan started to go awry, your mother actually awakened enough to have enough rebar in her spine to divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Then two things happened. They had to shift gears.
And
Uh,
get double down. They had
there
to
you go,
double
because
down.
your dad would have full access without your mother being around. So
Yes.
they shifted gears right in
And
there.
he would have Angie and Mary to back him up. Oh yeah, this is what we did at Dad's
Then
apartment.
Jack would have full access to you because then
Mhm.
your mother wouldn't know any different. And so your dad could spend
So
special
so
time.
that would mean that whatever mind files I had put in at the age of what, 6?
Yeah, they were really doubling down in those years. They had to shift. They're shifting strategy. Plus, they have greater
Yeah.
access to you. They have greater
So
access.
here I was 6 when they were first installed. So now I would be 9 and 10. Mom's about to leave, trying to go to Iowa. And so these 2 years,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that they reinforced it with the deprivation tank and putting me in an even more horrific environment with that. I don't even want what to call it, the deep underground base, whatever it was. It was probably a military. I can't imagine anybody else would have that sort of stuff, but here it is with the minuses. So there's Michael. Yeah, and see, all of this shifted from, oh, see, I need to,
So it freed up more emotions to really find the.
yeah, so this is all, yeah, it goes a lot deeper because these were at 10s and now look at them. They're at
You know what, Diana, you may
17s,
want to.
14s.
You actually may want to, just for visual, right there, to differentiate 0 to -10, then -10 to -20.
With the coloring.
Change the box a little bit, so put two of those
Yeah.
boxes that differentiate color
Or
because
maybe like just a baseline or something.
or something.
Yeah, okay. And then
Because I think that'll really, like, we're so used to thinking +10, -10, then to see how much further
I
it
know. And
will
see,
really
look at
honor the
this.
depth of pain.
I
I think
mean,
a different color,
look at
meaning
these spikes that just
take the same
bang.
color, just make it a little different as far as hue or differentiation.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might just put a baseline because to add a whole nother layer on this, I don't know.
Or can you just take that box, move it up, and add another box and superimpose just a different gradation of color?
Probably, but the problem is whenever I add a part, everything gets tweaked off. Because when you watch what happens when you add a line.
No, I'm not suggesting add a line. So
Right, but that's what I'm saying is that all these things that are on top of it
oh, never mind, never mind.
move
Okay,
out of
forget that.
place.
Forget it. Forget.
So I'm thinking to just insert a shape like a line
Just kind of a dotted line.
and say, okay, here's 10.
There you go.
Let's make this yellow or uh
Try a dotted line.
yellow. Um dotted. Okay,
That's
let's
not under shapes. Go under shapes.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you know where it is. Sorry about that.
I don't see a dotted line.
Okay, now go up to the actual. Okay, double click the line. You have it.
Oh, and alter it.
There you go. Now go up to shapes.
Format the object. There we go. Solid line, gradient line, color transparency, I think, make it fatter.
Under dash. There you go.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
So yeah, I was like, look at this. This you don't even see the top three little experiences. And see that's why he's all stretched up because I added lines and they'll stretch things. But
Oh,
yeah,
so it adjusted the top to still make it equidistant.
the whole chart.
Yeah, so the positive 10 is almost the same distance as the minus 10. I was just thinking it almost should be twice, visually.
Well, I see,
But
I
again, no,
disagree because you have a
I do know.
10 to 10, and now
Is
you
that the
got
same
below
distance?
10.
Is that the same? Is it equidistant?
No. But do you see what happens to the other stuff
Yeah.
as
So
you
forget.
adjust
I don't
this?
want to mess things up for you. I don't want to mess. Ooh,
No, but
but that's
yeah, here's the plus 10,
yeah.
and then here's the minus 10.
Okay, there you go.
Well, actually, all I would really have to do is I'm starting to figure out format the axis instead of saying, okay, so that might have done it. Okay, so you have positive 20 and negative 20.
Okay.
So that I guess that kind of makes it equidistant. It's just for the sake of looking at it. It's just this constant.
Yeah. Now here's just again. I don't want to cause you any additional,
No,
but
no, no, it's fine. It's
visual. You
fine.
can take a text box, cover over anything above positive 10.
Oh, see how he's up there now?
Yeah. So try erasing through a text box.
You're erasing through it.
Well, you're going to actually overlay a text box.
Just make it white.
No, I'm sorry. Stop it. Right. Get rid of 11 through 20 in the positive. And then if you can make it the same colors,
Oh, I see what you're saying. That orange. Oh, wait.
where'd it go?
It unless you put text in it, it doesn't stay.
It should stay.
Really?
Now bring it just take out 11 through 20. So it should highlight. Oh,
Okay.
you may need to fill it in.
Gosh darn it.
Oh, it's not staying, is it? It should stay.
All right, so I need to, here, let me just put a letter in there. Format the object, and you say make it the same color as the chart?
Yeah. That's why
Um,
I'm suggesting it because then
fill, solid fill, orange. Okay,
okay,
like
there.
that.
Now, um, there you go. Now click out of that and have the border disappear just for a second. Okay, now
Oh,
zoom out. See, I kind of think that's the effect because it really honors the depths of the paint. So it's oblong.
yeah.
Now, I don't know how you do that because, right, it changes there's a lot of,
Well, I mean, it's not a huge deal. It just squishes things.
yeah. But that really then, to me, visually, it captures how bad things are because, right, you've only got 1 to 10 up above, but -1 to -20.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
That
can
really
see how there's
honors
a
your,
gradual movement down.
but it
It
honors the
split, split,
depths
split,
of the
split, split.
paint by showing that, wait a second, it kind of plays with somebody's mind to say, wait a second, shouldn't it be positive 10 minus 10? But to show someone this is how bad it is. It's just you can't even view it left brain wise because it's not equidistance.
Yeah, I guess that does
I
say
really like that, just in terms of it honors the pain that you guys went through, the trauma.
yeah. Wow. Okay.
I don't know, something like that, but it just
Wonder if
right.
I
Most people
can.
think in terms of we think in terms, and that's where the yellow line comes in, the dotted line, positive 10, negative 10, because I'm always talking in terms of that. But for people to understand the depths of what you and other survivors went through, it's positive 10 minus 20.
Yeah, yeah. See, I never I thought of it from time to time, but the part of me that didn't want to do the work
No,
said,
I
"Ah,
know.
nah, let's leave
That's
it."
why,
You're
don't,
right. This is um more impactful. Oh, here's the 10 level
oh, there
here.
we go.
Okay, and actually make it a lot fatter.
Hmm. Which,
Okay.
which then really shows you
Yeah,
the
because it's like,
incomprehensibility of this evil.
yeah. Well, that's
Okay,
yeah.
we'll play with that one.
There's
My hunch is,
5. See,
yeah,
I'm still gotta screw around with all
my
this.
hunch is intuitively you're going to start to see some of these lines adjust down much more into the negative, the negative 11s to 20s.
It just blows my mind that I'm even alive.
I'm telling you. And that's how much the Lord is going to use you because you're a walking miracle.
I get embarrassed when you say that, but the
Well,
more I
it's
think
fact.
about it, it's
It,
true.
it's just,
Or any one of us. Then I keep, oh, see, see, see how they get squished when you add lines.
oh, bless your heart. I know. I'm sorry about doing
No,
this.
no, no, no. It's
Oh, you
different
may actually,
pages, so this is a different thing.
you may need to bring that for. Okay, look at you. You're good at that. I'm not even, you're well versed in all this.
Well, I'm becoming well versed.
Yeah,
And
you're
see, and then
becoming
there's
this.
another problem with you can't, for some reason, I
That's
can't
right. That's right.
make it. uh,
Or if you write, well, yeah, bring it forward. Maybe,
Well, it doesn't work with these text boxes.
yeah, that's right. It's
Options not
overlaid.
even there. Yeah,
Or maybe move the text box over to the right far enough to where when you're ready, just drag it back.
move it over. Yeah, that's what I do. So there's, yeah,
Okay.
6. Look how much that is. I have to make it this small to see the whole thing. And then 7 and 8. Now here's 9. Oh, did I add these things? Oh no, 9. So this is, yeah, this is Nixon. I should put like a government symbol there,
You should.
like the seal of the United States of America or something.
Or seal the president of the United States.
10, 11,
Oh,
nothing, and then
there you go.
12.
Yep, you're onto something, right? There.
Yeah. And then 14,
Wow.
17, 18. I found the name of the base called Hooster Hole Concern. It's like a hole, like a whore. I wonder if that's why they sent me there. I don't know.
What I did, I sent that. I just saw. I haven't watched it yet. There's a video on castle in Brussels. So
Really?
I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-mm.
I think I emailed it to you. It said the most evil castle or something. So
Oh, really?
I just sent it to you.
Well, I remember I saw something the other day where they talked about Himmler's castle was meant to be the
Like the center of the universe kind of thing.
yeah, the center of the universe for Hitler's evil empire.
Yeah.
And I'm there, what, 30 years later, 40 years later. And I was trying to recreate this, but I don't seem to be able to do it again on another thing.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's
Yeah. And so this is 20s, my 20s, 30s. And I should put in here all my different jobs with the courier.
That would be
I
good.
should put like a little courier symbol there. Well, yeah, my job was okay and I wasn't SRA, it wasn't MK Ultra, but I still had to do stuff. And then
Mhm.
my 40s, after I met Chris, things were better or are better. And just the presence of God throughout, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
not 100% done yet, but
it's getting
what
there.
was it that you just mentioned before that I forgot that God came and did something or showed me something? I guess when I rewatch this video, I'll make a note of it.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so there was that.
Outstanding work, Diana.
It's a lot. I mean, but this was the biggest thing I think that opened up the ages. Not, I think because I'm at that point where I'm realizing, okay, there's a big blank spot for 2 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now I'm thinking about this stuff. And I believe that there was a lot of this there. So now there'll be something there. I don't know exactly if I was 9 or 10 for either one or which came first or second, but at least a couple of guardians came up and said hello, and now they're interacting with the others. And I can record them and get their bio pages and give them existence and a new life. And
And it's already from what briefly that one said, that regardless of what happened, right, if it became like an assembly line, I mean, look at what you had to remember
and I
in
keep thinking,
in the
how
meat.
can there just be hundreds of people being murdered? Where do they all come
Okay,
from?
so here's again,
I know there's missing children and missing people and adults and homeless people and they get them from everywhere, I'm sure, and all this immigration, I'm sure, is feeding into it. But
I could easily, oh, okay, maybe abortion
I'm like, is there a factory with baby mamas that's all they do is pump out babies all day in order
or
for them to
Planned
be
Parenthood. Maybe
sacrificed?
Planned Parenthood is delivering all this stuff. Um,
But
but here's probably the important thing, right? For those parts, not necessarily to have to make sense of it right now,
yeah, yeah, no, it comes
right?
as it
Because who
comes.
knows, it also could have been that could be where they're processing the meat for McDonald's. So you've got half actual cows and half, right? So,
That has crossed my mind too. Yeah. It's like,
or maybe we're talking this dispenses meat to all these fast food restaurants. So
well,
to a
and then
kid,
you got Chicago just down the way with the massive meat processing
that's what, right? And
place
so for a
that
kid age 8 or 9, if you're seeing bodies at that point, everything seems like a body, but so that's not to detract from, that'll be the adult part trying to figure out, okay, wait a second, how could you have this, what looks like a mass production, but all it takes is to have enough body parts in there to make it seem like this is pure humans, but it could be a combination.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'm thinking, okay, well,
Like
Dad would
Soylent Green.
exactly,
Where would they
yeah.
come up with that concept? Well,
Idea, I know. Well, and it's like with Dad, okay, so we would go there for the weekends, and I would imagine like Chris's custody agreement was that, we only got him 3 weekends a month because the mother should get to have time on the weekend with the kids too. So I'm thinking, okay, well, let's assume that that's what mom's order was. So it would be Friday night to Sunday night,
that's all I needed.
or even Saturday morning to Sunday night. So I would be there for 2 days. And I think I would, well, the part's telling me right now, at the end of the day on Sunday around 5-ish, or maybe Sunday afternoon, I'd go back to Dad's apartment, and that's when he would sit us down in front of the TV in front of the televangelist. So it'd be, oh, okay, so like noon on Saturday to noon on Sunday, or like 10 on Saturday to
Because you got sleep
4 on Sunday, so
deprivation.
28 hours. I don't know if I would even be given the opportunity to sleep in
No.
that time.
And then you wonder which televangelist, that had to have been Billy Graham.
And then Angie and Mary are with Dad
See,
creating the cover story, and I get to Dad's and I'm there for the 2 or 3 hours in front of the TV, sitting with Angie and Mary. And all of a sudden now I'm seeing Angie and Mary are flashing hand signs at me.
so Dad's been prepping them for when you get back.
Right, because I need to suppress what just happened.
And if they do a good job, then Dad rewards them.
Right.
So they become your handlers in a way.
Yeah, I've already
We're
determined
keeping
that
it
once.
suppressed in a
Ever
way.
since Vance, because that's what those witches did. They made Angie and Mary go out and handle me, handle the situation. They didn't do it themselves. Angie and Mary had to do it. So they were my handlers at the age of, I was 4 and they were 6 and
Yeah,
7.
they're keeping you in check, basically.
And doing this in the car.
So that's
And,
why they remember more than they're letting on.
well, and Angie with this, she'll do it to this day. She'll just, she wears contacts and she'll just, like when I said to this time to her, I said, well, I was trying to get her to give me a little credibility. I said, well, I have a high IQ. And she goes like this, she just goes with this glare in her eyes. Like, and
That's what she's
I'm like,
trying to do.
I'm like, why would you even
That's what
respond
she's trying
that
to
way?
do. That was what she used to do.
Right. And well, and I remembered that um there was, I think I recorded this in my journal somewhere, but as a kid, she was oh, the swimming lessons. Her and Mary had demons enter their bodies and their faces morphed. Well, over time, whenever they needed to put me in line, the face didn't need to morph anymore, but it would come through their eyes or their tone of voice, right? Or their demeanor or their body language. And so over time, that's all they had to do was use their body language and just this glare that Angie would give to you. I remember when I was helping her clean up her shop, I didn't do something perfectly, and she was just like, and it's just that's the control mechanism right there. Just and I used to just think she's just being a bitch. No, that's her control mechanism. For me in particular, I'm sure she could do it to anybody and they would go, okay. So yeah, I think you're right, 100%. I know you are, because I keep looking back over different experiences going, well, yeah, that's just a subtler form of what happened at 4. Okay, and that's yeah, I can see the overt action become more and more subtle the older I got. So they didn't have to have a demon morph their face to freak me out. All they had to do was glare
Evil
or
eye.
do this thing with their mouth,
I'm sorry we don't have
or
more time today. Dang. So
huh? No, it's fine. Oh, yikes. It's
let me
always
pray.
a lot.
That was phenomenal, Diana.
All
You're
right.
doing it. Yeah, let me pray.
Okay.
Lord, thank you. Thank you that Diana and I can still work together. And Lord, thank you that as horrific as this stuff is, that you're still filling in the blanks so that the truth will set her free. And through this, Lord, we continue to ask that you oversee this, you protect her work. Thank you for her diligence. And we'll trust, Lord, as she continues to learn what happened, then that freedom will be effective in the lives of others. Lord, thank you for her willingness to risk putting it out there, putting herself out there, because there's so many. We don't know how many kids have been harmed like this. So, on behalf of those that were used like this, as well as those that were harmed, Lord, we continue to entrust this entire endeavor to you. So, thank you for your righteous indignation. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, thanks. Well, have a great weekend, and
Thanks.
we'll
Well,
talk
keep
Tuesday.
sending, cards and letters my way, and we'll.
I will do.
You've done an
Okay,
amazing job, Diana.
thank you. And
Uh,
you are helping me totally get there, so I appreciate it.
Well,
I wouldn't be here without your help, so thank you.
we make a good team then.
Okay, all right, bye.
Okay, bye.